Hey guys, welcome to Next Gen Prepping. Starting a new YouTube channel here, talking about how I can help you out with some basic prepping needs, learning to prep, but putting a modern twist on what prepping means. It's not just going to the grocery store and buying food. It's also more about a system and a plan. But I had a few friends and family members kind of mentioned that I should start a channel and just kind of explain what I know. So you guys, this is an intro to prepping, a kind of guide. So if you want to start prepping, here's a few good ideas and a few places to start. I know a lot of folks out there like to doom and gloom and think you should have a couple of years worth of food on hand. That is a good end-term goal, but the hard part is just getting into it and where do you start? There's tons of information out there, and I'm just gonna try to make it easy for you. My goal is to kind of explain things at a simpler level, but also use today's modern age to help you prep. There's tons of ways to do it. Going into Walmart and just picking up a few extra bags of pasta and some sauce to go with it, or ordering food online and delivered to your house. There's really no end, and you can get as creative as you want. But to keep things simple, the easiest way to do this is to eat food you like, buy extra food you like, and buy food you know you're going to have it in the house and you can go through it. Nothing is worse than going out and spending a couple $100s on groceries just for it to put it downstairs in your basement and have it go bad. So kind of an intro. I would say 2 weeks is a good starting point for how much food you should have on hand. If the power goes out, as we saw in Texas during the end of the winter there, they lost power for a little over a week and things went kind of crazy. So my goal is to show you that about 2 weeks is a good starting point for everybody to start with. I think the easiest place to start is going to be just in buying something like this. Guys, this is kind of the bottom of the barrel for ready-made food. This is just something you put some warm water in it, and it's a meal. You have calories. That's really essentially what this is. They're quite overpriced. They're going to be over $100 now after the pandemic. But the nice thing is that this is an easy bucket, easy to store, and you do get a good amount in here. You know, it should be, 30 meals for one person, but those numbers aren't true to what somebody's actually going to be eating. The food quality is not that great, but it is emergency food. It is calories in a bucket. It is something you can just put in your basement and forget about, and know you have something set aside for the future. Again, that's the easiest solution. It's not the best food. It's not something you're always going to be eating on your day-to-day basis, but this is a buy once and forget about it, and you pull it out of the basement if the power doesn't come on. Next is going to be a bit more traditional. It's going to be a little bit easier for you guys. This is where you can really start to take advantage of the sales, and really start to just kind of rotate in what you eat. Some common things around the house: ravioli. That's a night's worth of food right there for two people and a small kid. That's an easy meal. You just crack it open and warm it up. Chili is going to be the same way. Chili goes a long way. It's got a lot of calories in it. It's got protein and the flavor. There's flavor to it. I haven't had a chili that doesn't have any type of spice to it or tastes horrible. Following that is going to be some combination goods. So that's going to be along the lines of warm up the pasta, boil the noodles, and you're good to go. This is really easy, guys. A box of pasta noodles is about $1. Jar of sauce is about $1, give or take wherever your location is. It is a good, easy way to start prepping. Buy 14 cans of sauce, 14 boxes, you're under $30. So it's a good way to start prepping. I know you don't want to eat spaghetti every night, but for as far as the dollar goes, $30 for 14 days worth of food, I think that's a good deal too. Kind of moving on, This is where you're going to start to see kind of more longevity idea thinking, but also stuff that you can get now that prepping in a sense of not just 2 weeks, but you can also have these canned foods last nearly forever. When you are going and buying canned foods, you can buy them in these little packs. It's pretty cheap. You can get them from 50 cents a can to 75 cents a can. So some of these are, you know, $3 to $4 for a pack like this. This is a pretty good deal. Adding some veggies in too with your dinners every night. And again, nice thing about these, you just warm them up. There's not much of an issue with trying to make survival food or prepping food. This is just stuff you're going to have around your house every day. These are meals you can just go down to the basement if going to the grocery store just sucks for that day, or you're busy, you have a headache, kids are going crazy. Stuff like this is really good. So the next thing I want to talk about is water. Easiest rule of thumb you can go with for water is you have 1 gallon of water per day per person. So if you have a family of 3 in the household, that's 3 gallons of water per day. Water's the hard one where it takes up so much space so fast. Personally, I would say about 2 gallons in your household for 2 weeks per day. So, you know, 14 to 30 gallons around the house is where that point starts to get before you start just kind of wasting space. In the future, we will talk about water purification methods, like Brita filters, stuff like that. If we're talking about just kind of getting ready for that first 2 weeks, yeah, I think, you know, 14 gallons of water is a good way to start. 28 gallons, 30 gallons if you're looking for a couple people in the household. But again, we will go into the future later talking about, you know, Berkey water filters. We'll talk about the Britas. I know we personally use a 1 gallon filter in our fridge, so we always have clean water. But if we're looking at just a beginning, just a starting point, you don't have to overdo it. Just a few gallons in the basement is always going to be nice. Most situations, we don't see the water go down. It's more or so electricity that's being shut off. But we do want to have a way to make water clean going as well too. Kind of getting into, you know, the ending of the 2 week cycle there. That's basically all we kind of want to look at is take as much stress out of it. You see a lot of these guys, you have to have a plan. You have to measure your calories out. A bag of rice is this many calories, and 1 cup is enough for 1 person a day, and a bag lasts you 20 days. You know, that's too much stress for somebody beginning to buy. I tell you, just 14 packs of pasta and 14 cans of pasta sauce, that's good there, but mix in some chilies and some soups and some veggies to go with it, so you're not starving yourself out there with just repeating the same meal over again. Getting into long term, when we're talking more than 2 weeks, I got some things here too. Cans of soup like this is going to go a long way. Eventually the grocery stores are going to run out if we're talking long term. If we're talking something along the lines of 1 year, 2 years, I think 2 years is a really good point to kind of stop stressing if you'll have enough food. Because by that point, we should have 2 growing seasons in of gardens at home and farms at home. But soups are going to be a really good way to take leftovers and mix them together. It's also going to be a good way to stretch those meals out, stretch everything. If you just happen to have a half a can of veggies left, this is the way to mix it all together. Mix some water in it, reduce it down a little bit, add some of those beef flavors and chicken flavors to these, and this goes a long way, guys. Like these are going to probably be, if you're a year into it, if anything, you know, power goes down, water goes down for a year, these are probably soup and pasta, or not soup pasta, but soup and chilies are going to be what a lot of folks are eating. And my kind of take on it to go along with that is going to be something along the lines of freeze-dried food. I know this is getting a bit more advanced, but this is kind of where I'm just leaving a trailer to go for what's in the future. Freeze-dried food, I have 3 pounds of freeze-dried beef in here. This will feed multiple people for a couple dinners, and some lunches. When you combine, the beef with the soup, not only is it going to taste good, but it's going to last 25 years in this bag. Some things to kind of go along with that: shredded cheese. You can freeze dry cheese. We're living like astronauts. That's kind of a cool thing, but having some food on hand that you're used to, some comfort food that you can freeze dry, or have freeze dried for you. I know you don't have to buy these specifically. Amazon, you can go through and buy some freeze dried foods already to go along with that. But also going into your soups and chilies, and just easy meals are beans. Beans are kind of a prepper's gold mine. They have tons of nutrition, tons of value. Protein, you are going to be going through protein like crazy, burning a lot of extra calories like crazy. And the diets for prepping and the diets for long-term survival are not going to be your low carb diets, low fat diets, stuff like that. You want to have calories and protein there to make the energy for you guys. We have gotten so accustomed to these keto diets and stuff like that we're thinking that's the new normal, when it's not. You're going to be burning a lot of calories. You're going to be doing a lot of work by hand, especially if there's no power. Gas is going to be gone quick after that power goes out too. So you're going to be walking a lot. You're going to be riding bike places a lot. You're going to be, digging a lot. You're going to be doing manual labor, and you're going to be tired at the end of the day, and you're going to be hungry throughout the day. So having good fillers like beans like this, about 10 pounds of beans here with the soup. Again, chilies. You can take that can of chili, and the chili is just going to be there for the flavor. You can also get some tomato sauce and some seasoning in the beans, and you're going to have, a full belly at the end of the day, and it's cheap, it's easy. When you're looking at beans like this and rice and wheats, you guys, the easiest way to go is to go to your local co-op, bring some 5-gallon buckets if they let you, and just see if you can buy some of the 5-gallon buckets. Now, right now is not the best time to be doing that because harvest has not gone through. Once harvest is done, that is going to be the time to go through and buy that, so you have fresh, new, clean grains, beans, stuff like that. If you go through and try to buy it now, you're going to get the leftovers at the bottom of the barrel there, essentially, and it's going to have the pesticides and the chemicals the farms are using to keep the crops safe from bugs and stuff. So wait on these until harvest is over. Otherwise, if you want to, buying beans from like the dollar store is a good place to start with that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment, subscribe. This is going to try to be a new routine thing for me, is just kind of giving my information out there, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.